All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Carmen, if you would, do a roll call for us.
Stephen Ford. Brad Willis. Leslie Evans. Crystal Lacey. Roger O.
Here.
Scott Thomas.
Here.
Guy Roden.
Here.
Bettina Cogan. We have a quorum.
All right, tonight's invocation will be given by Councilor Thomas and as well as the Pledge of Allegiance. You
Lucky.
doubled up.
Yeah. Father, we're again thankful for the opportunity you've given us to come here and discuss our town business, and we pray, Lord, for your wisdom and guidance as we go through our meeting tonight and any deliberations we need to make, and we pray for safety of travel after the meeting with we go home. We pray for this through Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Approval of the agenda. We may add or delete any items councilors may at this point in time.
Make a motion to accept the agenda as submitted.
Well,
We needed a change of it.
yes.
Tina, you're,
We have a change?
Yeah.
Table resolution 16-2025.
Okay.
13C.
Yeah, 13C.
I'll second.
Got a motion, have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, we've made that adjustment. All right, introduction of special guest. Pitiful crowd. Jamie, my wife, sitting back there.
You're talking about the quantity, not the quality, correct?
The quality's fantastic. So, yes.
I mean,
All right, approval of minutes from October the 13th meeting.
Make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, public comments. We got anything? Hearing none. Move on. City Department reports. Police Department. Chief, what do you got for us?
Well, I'll start with the animal control report. In October, he picked up 5 dogs, but 3 of them were returned on scene to the owners, and then 2 are currently in the shelter still. So we're working on trying to get them a home, either adopted out or trying to get them back to who they belong to. We still haven't heard anything on them. The numbers are there in the book. Some of them are a little bit higher, with warnings and citations, a little bit higher than the previous months, and I'll talk about why here in just a minute. But I added the arrest column on the side. If you look down there, on October we had 10 total arrests, and then we actually had 13 in total arrests. 3 of those were warrants, just flat out warrants. So 13 altogether if you count the warrant arrests. And then the reason why our numbers were a little higher with citations and warnings and citations, I guess you could say, and traffic stops. We did a program that state police and actually nationwide, actually happens nationwide. We found out at the beginning of the year, the beginning of 2025, that the University of Arkansas wasn't going to no longer use smaller departments to work football games and basketball games and baseball games, whatever it was that they had coming up. So obviously a lot of our guys worked those games and made a lot of money working those games to offset some of the costs. And so we looked at the STEP program. I don't know if anybody heard any grumblings of the STEP program. It happens every year. It happens all year long for some departments, depending on what part of the STEP program that they're actually in. There's a full step and then there's a mini step. So you start off with the mini step and you do national, so anything that's happening nationally, you do those programs. So if it's seatbelts, you do seatbelts for a week. And they basically, what they do is they give you a budget and they say, we need you to have officers working, and they pay back the overtime for those officers to come out and work. So the city pays it up front, and then the state pays the overtime back after it's worked, after that week is worked or whatever. And so if you look on those numbers, the regular numbers patrol, our traffic stops and our warnings and our citations were really high compared to that 1 week of traffic stops that we had done. But if you look at the numbers on the STEP program, I put in there the numbers that they were stopped for, warned, and then the citations that were actually wrote. So during that program, we did 177 warnings and only wrote 36 tickets out of 159 traffic stops. So some of those were arrests for warrants, because they had warrants when we stopped them. But the citations compared to the warnings that were given during that STEP program is minute compared to what could be. And that program has got a little misconception in it. Everybody sees it and they think that it's, well, the officers have to go out there and they have to write so many tickets. That's not the case. It's not the tickets, it's the learning part of the STEP program. So if we're going out there and we're doing seat belts, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna stop people from not wearing a seatbelt, and we're going to tell them, you need to wear your seatbelt. And then if they happen to have no insurance, or they happen to have a suspended driver's license, obviously that's not something that we can just let slide, and we have to write them accordingly. But the seatbelt part of it is, it's more of a learning deal, in that they actually go back later. Once you do that whole week of no seatbelts, they go back later and they start picking out cars and seeing how many people actually have seatbelts on, to see if the community or whatever learned that we're going to be out there, we're going to be looking, and it kind of keeps us on point, makes us realize that it is a little more serious than what we think through the mundane year, and we put our seatbelt on and pay attention to the stop signs and not use our cell phones in school zones. So anyway, I wanted to put that in there just so you guys can see it, and if you guys have any concerns or complaints with the police department doing this STEP program, I'm more than free to talk to you, and we can talk to the guy that actually set it up in our department, the detective, and I'll answer any questions that I possibly can.
I'll say this, I'm glad you broke those numbers out.
Yeah.
I think it's very imperative for the community to see. And the other thing is this, we do something that a lot of other agencies don't typically do with the STEP program, and the fact, which I think most of them do, but I don't know what the time frame is. We have up to 2 weeks to advertise this on social media or whatever before we actually do the program itself, or whatever, whether it's speeding, whether it's seatbelts, whatever it is. We try to do everything that we can, community oriented, I guess you might say, to put it out on social media to say, hey, here in 2 weeks, we're starting the STEP program.
Right.
And so kudos to our police department for doing that, because a lot of times they don't ever give you any inclination, they just get out there and do it. The other good thing about it is, and I know two guys in the back, and this one right here for sure, I will say, a lot of it is just making those contacts, telling somebody, hey, look, we're doing a STEP program, we pulled you over because I noticed that you didn't have a seatbelt on. Those are things that keep our community safe, and all that, and I'm glad to see that we're giving out more warnings than we are citations, obviously. But, you know, that'll get probably a little more aggressive as time goes on. But bottom line, this STEP program is a way for us to supplement some of their income whenever other things like the you're talking about over there at the University of Arkansas are not, we're not able to do that anymore. So anyway, I like how the program's going so far. Any questions of Chief?
I just had a minor one. What was the DD?
A DD, distracted driving.
Distracted,
Yeah,
so cell
like a
phone,
cell
anything?
phone in their hand, or, and I know this
Was
is
that
weird,
the
but
other day?
it just simply like reaching down for something in your floorboard or anything like that. Not to say that that's what these were for, but that could be
Any paid.
considered distracted driving.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Do eating. Yeah, eating dogs. I mean, we get a lot of that. I mean, everybody has a dog, especially if it's a lap dog, and they don't realize that that dog's standing in their lap in front of them,
Looking at
and you're driving down the road. It's that could be considered distracted if something happens.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Chief, were you done?
I'm done.
Moving on, Public Works. Brian, what you got?
Mainly working on the bathrooms at the splash pad. We also did break off that and started the Christmas lights.
We're almost done with Christmas.
Probably.
And then the other thing, make a note to yourself on this. Now that we've passed the, ordinance, for parking, get with myself or chief, and we need to create those signs that go up there behind the pantry. We need to get those installed just as soon as we possibly can, now that it's official, and I don't know that it's been codified as of yet, but it's official, and we've got everything signed off on as far as that ordinance goes.
And I will say, I keep getting questions about that, and I just tell them we're trying to ease into it. We're not gonna go out there and just start writing everybody tickets just because your car's.
Exactly,
We're
yeah.
gonna get signs up and,
Yeah, we wanna get signs up and give them a month or two to
Right.
get it acclimated to what we're trying to do up there. But make a note, tomorrow even, if we wanna have not Wednesday, if we wanna have a conversation about it, we can certainly have that conversation. What else? Got the last bills, just so you know, on the concrete. We are at about $56,000 on the two big projects that we worked on, so, with the help from the Thompsons, obviously, and some other things, we've come in well under budget on those two big projects. We've got the 15 foot of sidewalk at the new park, and the vaults and the
Head wall.
head wall for the drainage deal up there. So we're well under budget as far as those things go. We anticipate them to cost right around $100,000. And with everything all in so far, including pipe, we're probably 56 was the check we wrote today. Right at 70. So good job, very good job.
Thank you.
Anything for our Public Works Director? Okay, hearing none. Yes, sir. On Water Department.
All right, I brought a slideshow. So last month I mentioned that I would update you guys on progress and projects that we're planning for 2026. The big one is the one you guys have been hearing about for 2 years, so I won't go into the details, but we have an updated timeline on the wastewater project. We're not quite where we'd like to be. We had hoped to be in construction by fourth quarter of this year, but I think we'll still be completed in time. We had a meeting last Thursday with the entire project team. Design is completed. Bids are going out this month. Funds will be available right around Thanksgiving. And then equipment selection, as far as the bids coming back, I'm told that probably will not happen until right before Christmas, maybe early January. But groundwork, prepping the site can be done hopefully in December. So long story short, they're saying it's a 3 to 6 month project. We should still be finished well ahead of the July deadline for our permit. And we should start seeing some action within the next couple months. And then the next one is not a project that we've discussed here yet. But in 2024, we may have talked about it a little bit. On this map, you see the yellow line. We had a major failing on our trunk line, which carries all of the sewer to the sewer plant. And that yellow section was replaced by J.L. Bryson for us as an emergency repair. It was about 500 feet, cost around $100,000. The sewer main was installed in the early 60s, late 50s, somewhere in there, I'm not entirely sure. But it's well past its useful life. So the commission has approved us to move forward with roughly a $750,000 budget for designing a replacement for most of that trunk line, and then replacing as much as we can afford. Now this orange section is what we're calling phase one. That old line actually reaches all the way through town and doesn't stop until it gets to Crossbow. But this is the heaviest working section of it. And then that bottom arrow is where we think we might get with that $750,000, which does get us past Butterball, and we'll be able to enlarge the line. And then if you want to move to the next couple pictures. So the pictures we're taking to show you guys what we have, but me taking the pictures has actually made it worse. So I was going to pull this lid. This is where Butterball ties in, but trying to move the lid, you can see the damage that I started doing. So you didn't get a picture of the inside, I just stopped. And then on the next picture, it was something similar. So the old manholes are hand-laid brick with mortar encasing. And then this section that's zoomed in here, there was a tree trying to grow in it, and I thought I'll pull that before I take the picture. Took the manhole with it, so.
Sean, that previous picture, you might tell them what that's constructed from. The one
Oh.
prior to that, yeah.
Yeah, so that is a fiberglass body that was was installed in 74, as far as my records show. Anyway, it's well past time. It's barely holding together, so we're going to start working on that while we can. There you go, 2 more. Okay. And then these are items that we're just working on right now. I'm going to skip to the dryer one first. Since we installed the dryer in 2017, we've had repeated rounds of complaints about the odor. I'm sure most of you have dealt with it at some point, especially this time of year when it cools off and that air is held down. As the community grows, it's just going to become worse. It's going to become a deterrent for people moving into the area. So the commission has not approved a project, but they give me permission to research options once again and see if we can find something with a guarantee that we could install to mitigate that. And then finally, this was not planned, but at one of our conferences we met with a company that is offering us some improvements to our metering system. I don't know if anybody in here has had to deal with a leak, but our response is typically we read meters, we see, oh gosh, Jessica used 50,000 gallons of water. We call her and we work with her, but she's got a large bill and we have a lot of water lost. With this new system, if it works out for us, we will get daily updates. The system will monitor meters for us, and then we will get to that quicker, which should hopefully save the customer and the city a lot of money. Other than that, we'll be working on all the usual stuff, leaks, meter replacements, etc.
Doesn't the meter also, they, like we had talked about, they can actually log into it? And
There
they can
are
see their own
options for
usage?
customer access.
So for alerts and things like that.
Good.
Help also for just damage in your home.
Well, a good
That's-
example from this year, we had an elderly lady that went on vacation, and she came back to 90,000 gallons worth of usage. Now, we did track that to a toilet, so it didn't damage her home, but it was a $2,000 bill. With this system, she could have logged in and said, I'm leaving, and I won't be back for 10 days. And if a drop of water went through the meter, we would have been notified to turn it off, and she would have gotten a text as well.
I think it's fantastic, very proactive.
So,
Like that.
comes down to cost, but it looks like it might be an affordable upgrade for
Good.
us.
Good idea.
Questions? Any questions?
Any questions, Sean? Sean, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you. Fire department, we've got you.
A couple things. One, I want to heap praise over on our police department. We've got a patient in town who has some fairly violent seizures, and we've been having to deal with it. When I say violent, the first 2 times we went there, it was over an hour of physically having to wrestle the patient for his own good, trying to get him restrained. By the way, I'm a little old to have to be doing that, so Josh and his officers, Seaton and Ray, and one of the county boys, I'm not sure who it was, they have been coming over now, and we now have a new protocol with EMS on how to get him down and get him taken care of and get him in the ambulance, because it's just he's a medical condition, so it's not, he's been trying to be violent, but it has been very useful having their officers there to help with the restraining part and help us get him in the ambulance. So I'm very appreciative, as always, of our police department, and whichever deputy, I'm not sure who it was, but there. A couple things. Friday, you may have seen the heavy smoke out north of town. We had to respond to a fire at Clifty. They had a couple of chicken houses on fire, so we had to go help with that and prevent it from going any further. Yesterday, we got called. We had to go to Marble for a trailer house fire. There were several people living in the trailer. A mother and her child got trapped in there. She had to throw the child out the window, and then she went out the window. And by the time, obviously, we could get there, it was a total loss. But we're gonna as we move through, continue to remind people of smoke detectors. They had a smoke detector, but they'd taken the battery out because when they cooked, it was doing that stuff. So that they avoided a fatality, but just kind of remind everybody, smoke detectors do work, so use those. One of the things in the report I pointed out to, and it was a course we sent some of our guys to a couple weeks ago, the Crash Course Heavy course up in Ohio. It's something we stumbled onto, and we sent these guys up to. It's for heavy rescue, so it's for accidents with semis, with buses. It's also with industrial accidents, when you have collapsed structures. There are a variety of different things in there. It even has for aircraft. and it was an exceptional course. And again, I encourage you to go look at some of the pictures on our Facebook page of what that presents. So we're lining people up to go back to that course this year, because it's something we can't replicate and we don't have around here to do. So I'm excited about that. A reminder that on November 22nd, starting at 11 a.m., we're doing the Toy for Tots drive out at Station 2 with our HPD folks. It'll start 11. We're going to broadcast it in the Razorbacks versus Texas, so we'll also commiserate if it doesn't go well. We'll see how that happens, or we'll cheer highly if it does. We'll see. But there's going to be a chili cook-off. I think Officer Melton has been collecting a lot of people for the chili cook-off, some of our folks as well. So come out and be a part of that, and then bring toys for the kids. I think Mayor Dawson's going to talk on one thing, the training center. We are very excited about the training center. We're working on some training for that. Last thing for me is, if you saw us flying out to the senior center this morning, senior center got there this morning, and there was some electrical smell and a haze of smoke inside there. So we arrived, got in there, went through the entire building. It looks like it was more of an electrical issue up in the attic with some of their fan belts and stuff. So that was what we were doing. We have encouraged them to get an electrician to come check it out, but that's what was going on out there today. So other than that, anything else?
Any questions of Chief? Okay, hearing none. Carmen, what do you got?
I haven't got nothing much. We've been working on the budget still. And
I'm gonna go over that briefly,
I know you was, so,
but God bless you for helping me.
well, God bless Janice, right?
And God bless Janet.
Yes.
Absolutely, God bless Janet. Any questions for Carmen? Okay, hearing none. Get into the mayor's report. Couple quick hitters here. One of your resolution, is it a resolution or an ordinance for donations? Resolution. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
for- yeah.
I wanna openly thank Representative James Eaton. You talk about a heck of an upgrade that we got up there at the airport. You know, we have that shuttle car that if you land at our airport, you can push in a code and get in there and get the car out and drive down here for something to eat while you're filling up a plane or whatever. James Eaton gave us, donated to us a Lincoln
MKS?
MKX, I think is what it is, but it's parked out front here, and it is one heck of an upgrade to the car that we got. So he has donated that car to the airport for us, and we greatly appreciate that from him, and that'll be coming here in just a little bit, I think. In December, not obviously in this meeting, but in December, we will be going over our leg audit, as well as hopefully approving our budget, and we'll be sending the budget out a couple weeks beforehand for each of y'all to look at and ask any questions or whatever. So it should be pretty ironclad whenever we have the meeting in December, that you'll be on the same page that the rest of us are on. Anyway, funding from government capital. We received in government capitals the funding source that we're going to use for the training facility. They have sent me the paperwork over, actually sent it to Kevin and I. Carmen has that in her possession now. We're going to start going ahead and filling out that information, hopefully get everything taken. Carmen and Becky will get that over to them this week, and we'll start that process. Excited about that, excited for the fire department about that, very much so. Excited for all fire departments in Madison County because of that. So anyway, that's, we're hoping to maybe close this deal out maybe in December at some point in time. Obviously, if you'll remember, there's a caveat to that, and the fact that we don't actually start getting billed for this thing. We can start construction immediately once the funding source has been provided. We don't have to pay one dime back until December of 26. So that, and no interest charged for that year long of using their funds. So that's fantastic. Chief, this is more for you than it is anybody else, but I'm going to give everybody an update in here. Enterprise rental and global. You know, we have went back and forth. There was some contractual things that I did not like about what they were offering. I do think it's advantageous for us to eventually go with a group like this at some point in time to manage our fleet, not only for the police department, fire department. Fire department's a little harder because it's specialized equipment. Street department. Sean, feel free if the water department wants to jump on board too. It's a great way to kind of get ahead of some problem issues that we have as far as budgeting for certain items like maintenance and wear and tear on a vehicle. The thing that I'll say today after having a conversation with them, I'm further disappointed, to be quite honest with you, in the fact that they've now created a policy because we were going to try to step this thing with the police department, obviously first because they have the largest amount of cars. We were going to do that with them first, and now Enterprise has adopted a policy that, well, we can't really do that. We need only 50% being police department cars because they're high used vehicles. Well, that don't make any sense. You're going to manage a car, you're going to manage the car. Doesn't matter if it's a police car, doesn't matter what it is. I get what they're saying as far as the usability. Police cars are used quite a bit, but I'm just really, to be quite honest with you, very disappointed in Enterprise Rental. Josh, you and I are going to get on a phone call with them next week. He's supposed to be sending me a date. So be prepared to ask whatever questions you want to ask. He's going to see what he can do for the police department since that's how it was sold to us in the beginning. And now they're kind of taking backwater on that. So that's an update on that. Sean, Ryan Bowman, with Friday Eldridge and Clark, we've got a date for the bond closing. Have you got that scheduled? Did you get the same email?
I did. Yes.
Okay, all right. Is it the 25th?
I thought it was the 22nd. No, you're right. It's the 25th.
I think so.
The 25th?
Yeah.
So we'll close that bond issue out, and that way you start your funding process. So letting everybody know of that. Tomorrow, obviously these offices will be closed, but myself, Judge Garrett, some others will be giving some speeches on the square tomorrow to honor our veterans. So if you're in town or around, want to come down for that, it's always such a emotional and moving event that we have here on the square to retire some flags and things of that nature, just to honor our veterans. So it's very important. Very important to all of us. 10:30 tomorrow on the square. So if you get a chance and you're out and about, come down and see that. It's a very moving presentation. I think Guy's been a part of it several years, and I just always enjoy it. One of my favorite things to do is that. Interagency agreement, what Bettina had tabled. This we're gonna turn this over to the county, let them vote on it and pass it, because we've made about 7 different changes to this, and it's obvious to me that we're saying the exact same thing. It's just worded a different way. So we'll let them pass ours, and I'll get that over to Jessica. This is for the district court, that interlocal agreement where they pay us $37,000. They've already approved that aspect of it. But there was just some verbiage changes at last minute tonight, so we've taken it off the table. We'll let them pass it, and then we'll look at signing whatever they present to us instead of vice versa.
Yeah.
So no big deal. Everything's still like it is, but we tend to get down in the weeds with who the clearing agency is going to be and who pays who, which is a little mundane and ridiculous, to be quite honest about it. But at the same time, we'll work through it. Visited with Judge Garrett today, and he's still on board, and everything's fine with the agreement. We're going to let them write the agreement, and then we'll sign it instead of vice versa. So that's good. The bank committee, the committee that looked at the First National Bank building over here. Guy has done a fantastic job as chairman of that committee, sending me the minutes on what we're looking at doing. You've given me a directive now. I've started to proceed. I've actually visited with some commercial companies that do this for a living and asked them to come over and start looking at that. However, and I'm going to ask of you all the same committee again, and this is just our luck how things work out, but on the 9th hour, after we done this, it was brought to my attention, we have a property owner that has about 19 and a half acres that is, that runs from Dotson Street down past Maple, Gaskell Street, all the way down, I think the Cogers own some land there as well, but all the way back down in behind, roughly Lee Street there, where it's at. And they approached us in regards to, they're motivated, they wanna get it sold. And so they approached us the other day to see if we would be interested in it. There's also some people up there, on Dotson Street of some of those condemnable houses that we're looking at. I think Jeremy Shin has been in contact with them, and I think that they're very open to selling that property to the city, to get out from underneath the liability of those properties, which is understandable. I get that. A lot of times you buy a piece of property and it's got an old rundown house on it, it becomes a liability and not an asset. So, so what I'm formally asking of you tonight, Guy, is that something that, that committee could look into and kind of value our options as to which a better option would be, whether it be the First National Bank building or potentially, purchase of this land. And the reason I ask that, and the reason I would like for you all, to do it, is everybody in that committee seems to be very business-minded and we just need to have a conversation about that. And I sure don't care to come to that committee meeting and kind of give the background on this property, legal descriptions and all that. I'll be happy to be a part of that committee, but is that something that you would be willing to do again, Guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, so I'll try to set something up. Is Wednesday night the better night for you all?
You talking about this week?
No, it didn't have to be this
Oh,
week.
okay.
No,
And now.
no.
Let me look at the
I'm
schedule.
thinking sometime before Thanksgiving. So is that all right? with-
Wednesday night's great for me, so that's fine with me.
Who?
Wednesday night.
Is
Doesn't matter to
Steve?
Good.
Wednesday?
Brandy? Good.
Okay, well, we'll get together and, either myself or Brandy or one of us will send out when we're gonna meet and go over that. Here's the deal, guys, it's whenever you're dealing with taxpayer dollars. And I get it completely. Oh, by the way, there was some interest shown, by a local, gentleman today, for First National Bank building as well. He called today in complete transparency. Now, I don't know if that's gonna come to fruition, or I don't know how serious that deal is, but, something was brought up that would be great for the city, obviously. And so we would support that idea. But it's one of those things when we're talking about taxpayer dollars, it's not our money. It's the taxpayers' money. And we have to make decisions based on what it's gonna add to the bottom line of the citizens of this community, right? And, you know, we've been on again, off again about First National Bank, and we've been on again, off again about some other land and some other property somewhere. And like I said, there's no right answer to this. There's no wrong answer to this. But it's something that I think that would be advantageous of us to have these conversations in an open forum, about the newspaper and get some feedback from the citizens, because once that hit the newspaper, I'll be quite honest, for the First National Bank building, the feedback that we got from social media on that was, wouldn't say positive, to say the least. I think everybody enjoys and likes what we done with the Basham building, but I think there's some hesitation on this First National Bank building, because obviously the directive that committee came up with was to potentially buy the property and then tear the building down. So there's not been a lot of good positive feedback. So we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the community. And just so you know, the reason I bring up the 19 plus acres for planned urban development or IUD development over there, it would be fantastic for that. It's a good location for that. And we don't really have anything out on this side of town that we can do that with, unless you annex in and take in more farmland out south, 23 there. So The other thing is the connections of streets, and that's what I look at, and what we can do, because we've already got right-of-ways through there for Maple Street, and I think Gaskell as well. And to be able to loop all that together would be great. So anyway, just food for thought. I appreciate y'all willingness to do that.
I have one question.
Yes. Okay. That is, Jen, is that not historical?
So it does have a historic overlay district, but it is a commercial district on the square. It would be C1.
And
They'd have to, if anybody bought it, it would have to be a business then.
it could be a business, but they could ask for a variance with our planning commission. Like, for example, the gentleman that I think this will be fine, I don't think that he'll have a problem with me saying this, but the gentleman that called today, he's like, one of the things that we wanted to, he said, I wanted to ask you about the engineered aspect of the building, and I said, hey, it's freedom of information, you're more than welcome, I can look for it and send it over to you. And he goes, no, just kind of give me the gist of it, what did it say, Travis? And so I go through it and explain to him what it says, and I said, well, what do what's the mindset? And he said, well, here's the thing, obviously, back in 2013, we voted down a museum. That was the one thing that did not pass the litmus test for the citizens of Huntsville. We voted that down. So one of the things that he's talking about is basically, he didn't say the word museum, so I don't want to say that, but something to that effect that he could, put in local stuff from this area and display it or whatever. So, without giving too much information there. Yes.
I do want to clarify to Leslie that there is a residential component in C1 as well.
Yes.
There are upstairs apartments on the square, and that is an allowable use in keeping with into the district.
So, anyway, just food for thought there. And again, I don't know if that would ever come to fruition. Ironically enough, we're talking about a couple different things, and that was brought to my attention today, actually. We had a ribbon cutting today up at the,
Huntsville Clinic.
Huntsville Clinic, yes, I'm sorry. I keep on wanting to say Countryside. Huntsville Clinic. We had a ribbon cutting up there, so exciting news for them. That's whenever I took that call, actually. So, now then, quickly, just some quick hitters. Your budget committee has done a fantastic job. I believe this is by far and away the quickest that we've ever went through a budget. And it seems to be not as complex as we make it out to be, and it seems to be that we're all on the same page for the first time since I've been mayor. And that's fantastic. Fantastic for me. Just some quick hitters for you though. Talking about some changes that are coming up. Revenue, we expect revenue to be down just a little bit in fiscal 26. Not by much, but down some. And if we use realistic numbers for what we feel like our beginning balance will be, I figure that we're going to exceed our very conservative estimate of 1.9 million is what we'll start in the fund with. I figure it's going to be more like 2.2 or 2.3. So if you add that in, we're actually going to increase revenue in 26 by about $61,000. Just some quick hitters here for you. Administrative expenses. We had budgeted fiscal 25. We budgeted $994,011 to remind everybody. We have now reduced that budget to $526,439, taking $458,000 out of the admin budget. You can't preach that as mayor day in and day out to the department heads without doing it yourself. We have figured out a way to get it done on the admin side. Still, everybody getting the cost of living increase. We've decided, the committee's decided at 1.75% on the cost of living, but everything that falls under admin, they still get their step raises as well as cost of living. So we're excited about that. We are transferring an extra $10,000 over to park. So park budget was $66,500 last year. This year it's $76,500. Animal control, we moved all that to Chief Herring and the police department. We've got our animal control officer back here. This is Mr. Pierce, and I believe I've introduced him before. But you want to talk about somebody that's taken the bull by the horn and made things work. It is Mr. Pierce. Mr. Pierce, I want to thank you for. No, and it doesn't matter if I call him on a Sunday. He answers the call on the second ring anyway. So I want to tell you, and all the crap that we have to deal with from time to time, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. Always staying the same old, never veering off course, and that is fantastic. Something that we've never had as far as animal control goes. So thank you so much for what you do. So we moved roughly about $24,000 over to Josh's budget, added it to his bottom line to help pay Mr. Pierce's salary, and God bless you for what you do, Mr. Pierce. Appreciate you. Building inspector expenses. As you know, we now have 2 building inspectors. We increased that salary line by a little over $7,000, right at $7,000. But now we have Jason Pauley and Carl Stewart helping us with that. Overall, it was only a budget increase of $4,049 for that particular department. So only an increase of about $4,000. Code enforcement, we budgeted $18,025. We're budgeting $16,026. Jeremy's been fantastic. He's Johnny on the spot. And matter of fact, that was at his request that we decreased his budget. Not very often do you hear someone say, hey, I'm all right with you taking some money away from me. So we decreased that by $2,000. Court department expenses. Last year we were budgeted at $146,967. This year we're going to be at about $145,000 roughly, and that's giving step raises and cost of living increases to all those people. So that budget's down about $2,000 year after year. Economic development, and I'm really excited about this. Economic development, we've decreased that budget by about $8,000, and what we've done, I can tell you, and I'm probably not going to sing her praises as much as I did Mr. Pierce, but I will say this: Brandy has been absolutely integral in everything successful that we've done, and one of the things that we've kind of lacked on is communications. We asked her last year with very small increase to her salary to take care of all of our social media posts and all that. You can ask for it and in 2 minutes it'll be up. I mean, it is fantastic. She has now cultivated this new IT relationship that we've got with Aptigee.
We're going to be rolling out a new website and new city app.
And basically Brandy's going to become, not only is she still the economic development director, but she's going to be communications and public relations as far as the city goes, and we were able to give her a raise and save $10,000 in the budget and give her a substantial raise. Still not paid what you're worth to this city, and I really appreciate you, Brandy, for stepping up and helping us out with that. Fire department. Oh Lord, Kevin, here we go. We were budgeted for $443,070 last year. We increased that budget. It's about $494,000 this year, but we were able to leave that the $50,000 that we put in for ladder truck savings. We added another $50,000 at Leslie Evans prompting. We added another $50,000 to that, so you've got $100,000. So we increased that budget by $45,000.
Is $100,000 the total we've got in that?
$100,000 as of January 2026.
Yep.
And like I say, guys, these are just quick hitters to tell you kind of what we're doing for each department to kind of disclose that. But you all, each one of you all will have a copy of this. We'll make sure that once we kind of get everything fine-tuned, we'll get everybody a copy of that. So an increase in budget of about $45,000. And I'm going to miss somebody on here, but police department, which is our largest budget. We did go up in budget, but I want y'all to remember a couple things in the fact that we added a third SRO. Our salaries only increased about $35,000, even adding that third SRO. Josh, for Chief Herring, I can't say enough. he speaks my language as far as finances go. I didn't have to do anything. He brought it all to me. He already knew who was eligible for a raise, step increase, and the COLA increase. Basically, all I had to do was feed in his numbers and plug it in. So we're up about 35,000 in salaries overall with the increases that we done. We're up about $86,000. Last year was 1.327 million. Was budgeted for the police department. This year it's 1.413 million. So we are up about $86,000 over where we were. We also moved animal control over there too. So taking on more roles and doing a fantastic job, Chief. I really appreciate and applaud you for the effort that you put into your budget. And as a matter of fact, don't ask Chief if you don't want to know, because he is a financier, so to speak, in the fact that he keeps up with like even his miscellaneous fund. He knows where every penny goes, and I can't sing enough praises about that. That's fantastic. The most exciting thing for me, what I deal with a lot, or what I ignore a lot anymore here, Brian, my apologies to you, is our street department. We're actually going to go down in that budget. Last year, we had about 425,000 estimated in salaries, benefits, all that good stuff. 425,000 was the annual budget just for salaries. We are going to hit somewhere in the neighborhood of 418,000. But here's the great thing. We found a way to move some money. We uncovered some money that we didn't even realize that we had. So we're decreasing that. But what this includes is 3 step raises at the street department, adding of an additional employee at the street department, which we've needed for quite some time. Everybody gets the COLA increase, and then still remaining $6,000 in there for part-time and seasonal help. And we were able to save money in that budget. So, Brian, very and deservedly so. Overall, total budget increase, my apologies. Overall, we were at a decrease from fiscal 25 to fiscal 26, or what we were proposing in 26, $476,729 in savings. If you add in what we've done for all the other departments, which was to the tune of about $135,000 worth of increases, we are still going to net from fiscal 25 to fiscal 26, $341,680 in savings from year to year. So, fantastic job, all you that are on the budget committee. Carmen,
Yeah.
Janice is not here, but fantastic job to Janice. We did scare Janice. She come back on vacation. Me and Carmen got her password for a computer and went in there and put in the numbers that we wanted. And whenever she come in, she was pale. She's like, "So what have you done?" But anyway, and I know, and I'll say this on behalf of our staff here that works at City Hall every day. I know that we done something right because Janice wanted to double check our numbers, and she come back and she said, "How you all done this is beyond me," because she said, "This is spot on." So we got validation from Janice. So makes Carmen, brand new to us, feel good. Makes me feel good about what we've done. So anyway, overall about 341,000 decrease from fiscal 25 to 26. Very proud of that budget. So any
Travis,
questions of me?
Aren't you adding 2 employees to the street?
We
one
are.
To the park, one to the park.
Well,
and
one's
then
just
one-
replaced.
And one to the street.
One's strictly to replace Jim.
Jim.
But yes, we're adding 2 new employees because Jim will be retiring April.
Yes.
And so December the 1st of this year, we went ahead and gave the green light. We've advertised for it somewhat, and we found a perfect guy for this job. Not that we've hired him as of yet, but at the same time, his first available day to work potentially is December the 1st. And if everything works out, the planets align and everything goes as we see fit, it appears that we're going to be able to get this guy on, and he's geared for that very thing. So anyway, But yes, we're hiring 2 new employees at the street department. So,
And a third SRO.
and a third SRO. We keep on growing and our budget goes down, guys. That's hard to think about. Now, I'll remind everybody in this room that is a department head, the majority of that savings come from my fund, not y'all's fund. So I expect y'all to be pretty creative in 27 is what I expect. So anyway, all joking aside, very proud of that. Any questions of me? All right, hearing none, we will move on. I've lost my place. What's up next? Who's up next?
Economic development.
Economic development. Brandy, what do you got?
I think you've covered everything.
Okay, good. First time for everything. Planning Director, Jennifer, you got anything to add?
Nope.
Did you, I noticed that you sent the email back to the, tell me about that. What was the scoop on that today?
Oh, the electrical person?
Yeah, is this the one for the county job?
No,
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
just a random person and called the number back on the application, left a message with the homeowner, and
Okay.
I guess this contractor wanted additional attention, so.
All right. Building inspector report was included, code enforcement officer's report was included, and then animal control. Did we include that in on your?
It was
Yeah.
It should be included, but the print was so small.
It's really
so-
small.
Okay,
But I kinda hit on it. when
okay,
we were-
yeah, all right, good.
We'll fix that.
All right, all right,
All that spare time you had.
all those were absolutely provided in the email agenda packet. If you didn't get it, let me know or let Carmen know. Commission and committee reports, obviously emailed. There was an infrastructure committee meeting on October the 4th. Oh, that was the other thing. I might as well tell you all, anybody that serves, and this gives you a little more want to serve, I guess. We increased commission and committee pay as well. Now you get paid a big 30 or 35?
35.
35 bucks every time you come to a meeting. Jared, we did exclude you since you were a city council member at one time, so my apologies for that.
I voted that we ban you from ever being paid.
You're the only one that doesn't get it, Jared.
Tried to trump
Thank
her.
you for your volunteer.
Volunteerism.
Appreciate your volunteerism. Infrastructure Committee met October the 14th. Water and Sewer Commission met October the 16th. Economic Development Commission met October 21st. Wage and Position Committee, October the 21st. Airport Commission, October the 22nd. Bank Building Committee, October the 22nd. Wage and Position, October the 29th. The other thing I will add is we are expecting about $343,000. Mr. Coger called them. We're expecting $343,000 in funding, the remainder, now that we're done with our hangars up there. That's about what's left, about $343,000 coming from the state, and then another $42,000 by December the 15th, whenever we get done with those bathrooms. Another $42,000. So there's almost half a million or $400,000 there, close to it, that we're still expecting to come in as far as income. Revenue, yeah.
I make a motion, we put all that towards the ladder truck.
Bless you. Bless you very much.
Well, we got a
Easy,
motion
Kevin.
made. There's been a motion made.
There's been a motion made.
I withdraw for right now.
You know, I'm old.
I am ready to
I
see
can't
this
li-
done.
extend that level of excitement very much. So I understand.
You almost got him to stand up.
Oh, what are you thinking? I mean, he'll float out there.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
He's feeling his notes after the Bears won yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Moving on. Moving on. Unfinished business, we have none. It's amazing. That's 2 months in a row.
That's like,
Next month we'll have some.
That's
yeah, we'll have
fantastic.
some.
we'll have some next month.
Right, he did.
New business, 13A, ordinance 2025-10 to rezone certain lands from general industrial, I-2, to dual use zone. Please see Exhibit A.
Make a motion, we place it on its first reading.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second by a Guy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Okay, I have ordinance number 2025-10, an ordinance to rezone certain lands from general industrial I2 to dual use zone DUZ. Whereas a zoning change application has been approved by the Huntsville Planning Commission to rezone certain lands from general industrial I2 to dual use zone DUZ. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Huntsville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the lands hereinafter described are presently zoned in general industrial I2, that in order to facilitate and provide for the actual and best use of said lands and considering the needs, health, and welfare of our residents, it's found and determined that said lands should be rezoned to dual use zone, DUZ. Section 2, the present name, use, and legal descriptions of the land to be rezoned to dual use zone, DUZ, upon the passage and approval of this ordinance are as follows, and see Exhibit A.
You got an exhibit?
But we don't have to
Yeah,
read
it's
it.
We don't
right
have to.
behind there. So.
All right. Okay, that's first reading. All right, moving on. Any questions, comments about that? Okay, hearing none. Moving on, new business, 13B, ordinance 2025-11 to confirm ward-based voting in the city of Huntsville. Now, you want to give some history or a little bit of backup to that?
Yeah, so what it is Act 283 this year is requiring that the city file an ordinance with the county clerk. Even if we had been doing ward-based voting this entire time, if we don't file an ordinance with the county, it goes to an at-large voting system. So we're confirming this is what we've done. It was voted back in 2012, so we're approving that.
Mr. Mayor, I may move we place this ordinance on its first reading in full.
Got a motion from
Second.
Scott, got a second from Steve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Hearing none, if you would.
Ordinance number 2025-11, an ordinance to confirm ward-based voting in the city of Huntsville, whereas under Act 283 of 2025, all cities of the first and second class intending to elect council members by ward must file a copy of this ordinance establishing ward-based voting with the county clerk no later than January 1st, 2026, whereas that on November 2nd, 2012, voters of Huntsville, Arkansas voted in favor of 4-year staggered terms, with one alderman being elected to a 4-year term from each ward in the city of Huntsville, Arkansas every 2 years. Now therefore it be ordained by the City Council of the City of Huntsville, Arkansas, Section 1, that the City Council confirms that the voters of Huntsville, Arkansas voted in favor of 4-year staggered terms, with one alderman being elected to a 4-year term from each ward in the City of Huntsville, Arkansas every 2 years, and that the City of Huntsville has established ward-based voting. Section 2, this ordinance, along with ordinance number 12-3, shall be filed with the office of the county clerk. Section 3, the City of Huntsville elections, mayor, city council positions shall continue to remain nonpartisan. Section 4, that the City Council has determined that emergency exists for purposes of statutory compliance with Act 283 of 2025, and that this ordinance being necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, and safety shall be in full force and effect from the date of its passage.
Any questions of that ordinance?
Mr. Mayor, I move the rule requiring the reading of the ordinance in full on 3 different days be suspended. The ordinance be placed on its second reading by title only.
Have a motion? Second. Have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Okay. Ordinance number 2025-11, an ordinance to confirm ward-based voting in the city of Huntsville.
Mr. Mayor, I move the rule requiring the reading of the ordinance on 3 different days be further suspended. The ordinance be placed on its third reading by title only.
Second.
Have a motion, have a second. Since it's the third reading, we take a voice vote on this.
Not yet, until she
Not
reads
yet.
it.
Oh, until
Yeah.
she reads it.
Then we'll
All
make
right.
it pass.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Ordinance number 2025-11, an ordinance to confirm ward-based voting in the city of Huntsville.
Any further discussion?
Any further discussions of that?
And I'll make a motion for the adoption of an ordinance 2025-11.
Have a motion, have a second by Ms. Lacy. Voice vote.
Yeah, it's a roll call vote. Yeah.
Roll call
Yeah.
vote.
Stephen Ford.
Yes.
Leslie Evans. Crystal Lacy. Roger Ove.
Yes.
Scott Thomas.
Yes.
Guy Roden.
Yes.
Bettina Covert. All in favor.
Okay, we have an ordinance.
we'll get that signed and then
Well,
I'll,
there's-
We gotta get the emergency.
Oh, yeah, emergency. Sorry,
Move
yeah.
we
I'm
adopt the
skipping
emergency
ahead too.
clause to the ordinance.
Now,
Have a
second.
motion, have a second by Mr. Oath. First was made by Scott. Okay.
Go straight up and down.
Yeah, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay.
And then we'll get that signed and sent over to the county clerk.
It's due by January 1.
Yes.
Oh, the other thing in that, and Jessica and I had this brief conversation, it was, we had this discussion back in time with some legislative, things that had come out from last year's, session down there. One of the things was a big push to make all mayoral elections, partisan. You have to claim Democrat, Independent, or Republican. And we had this discussion, 4 or 5 months ago regarding this, kind of give you all an update. And Jessica and I discussed it, and we actually put it in because it was y'all's pleasure at that point in time to remain nonpartisan. So we got it put in this, so that will be filed at the clerk's office as well.
And that might change in the future. If
No,
they
we still got
change.
17.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
if they change.
we'll
yeah.
have to maybe revisit it.
Yeah.
but-
We tabled this one.
16.
Yeah.
But we still got 17 and 18.
Yes,
Yes. But those are set resolutions.
yeah, just resolutions.
Yeah, but does the resolution number change that you tabled 16?
Yes, we will need to have that now as, 17
Okay.
will now be 16.
Do we need to, we don't need to do anything, we can just change it.
We can still
right?
change
All
that,
right.
yeah.
18's now 17.
Yeah, all right, so, resolution 16-2025 regarding the acceptance of certain donations.
That was formerly 17.
That was formerly 17.
And I'll make the motion for the adoption of resolution 16-2025.
Second. Have a motion, have a second by Stephen Ford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. Moving on, resolution, which will now be a new number, 17-2025. Adoption of artificial intelligence policy for the city of Huntsville in compliance with Act 848 of 2025 and for the, other purposes, including, AI policy or artificial intelligence.
So are you in charge of this?
Yes, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion for the adoption of resolution 17-2025.
Listen, you're talking about my pay grade. I mean,
Well, by reading it, I was just waiting to see.
way above it, way above it.
I just wanted to make sure who was
Luckily,
going to.
the municipal league is providing
Yes,
training
the
because,
municipal-
yeah.
They're providing training to
Yeah.
everybody about this. So
I had to sit in on some, so.
I'll second the motion.
we got a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. You know, the AI thing I'll say about it is this. It's of God and the devil. It really is. It's phenomenal to help you manage your time, but then at the same time, the stuff that can come from it is scary.
Choir.
The bad thing is
You
the
don't
amount of
have to
people
tell
that
me.
believes a lot of it.
Oh, I
Like
know.
his Branson page showing like all the Eagles landing or the big.
Oh, I know.
I mean, there was hundreds of people sharing that because they caught the biggest crowd ever.
Oh, absolutely. It's
I'm like,
yeah.
how easy is this going to be?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. No other new business. Announcements. Water and Sewer Commission meeting Thursday, November the 20th. Economic Development Commission Tuesday, November the 18th, 8:30 at the Arvest Annex. Planning Commission Monday, November the 24th. Hey, Brandy, have we got the bids back from, I know we've got the bids.
Haven't heard back from Sean, he was expecting them this week.
Okay, all right, good, all right. Planning Commission, Monday, November the 24th, 6 o'clock. And then obviously our city council meeting is Monday, December the 8th at 6.
When is the lighting of the?
That's exactly what I was gonna
It's
ask.
The
this
21st.
Friday the 21st at 6 o'clock,
5:45.
5:45, yes.
Friday, so next Friday.
A week from Friday, yeah.
And
Oh,
the Christmas parade too, I think, is
Yes.
December 6th. December
Because it's
6th,
always
yeah.
the first Saturday.
yeah, first Saturday.
Just give him more time.
So, yeah, it's first Saturday, it's the 6th.
No, you're talking about the parade, right?
Yeah.
Christmas parade,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought we were still on lighting of the square. I'm a little bit behind, Scott. So, yes, lighting of the square, November the 21st, 5:45. Parade, December the 6th.
At 6 usually.
At 6 usually. And then, we got Miss HHS this weekend, so if you get a chance to come out and support that, come on out. And obviously, last thing is the veteran services that we're gonna have up here on the square at 10:30 tomorrow. So, try to make it out for that if you can.
Hey, don't forget our Toys for Tots.
And Toys for Tot. And Sergeant Melton, did he not do a drive for Toys for Tots?
He did at the softball
Softball field.
tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a pretty good
They did it pretty good.
big turnout.
Like $3,000, I think, is what,
event, the toys, yeah.
Trailer full of toys.
yeah, and a
I
truck.
tell you, he's always doing something like that. And then Toys for Tots, you gonna give a date, time?
November 22nd, starting at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Getting chili cook-off, cornhole tournament, Arkansas versus Texas.
We had a good time.
It's the last day of fresh. I'll be done.
Yeah.
Would you
Till
like
next
some
year.
turkey chili?
Yeah, I may have to call if you bring it, depending on what time we get done.
Turkeys.
Yeah.
All right, anything to come before this council? before
Make
we
a motion
dismiss?
for adjournment.
Second.
Second. Go home.
Yeah.
No one's gonna argue with that.
Thank you, Johnny.
Hey, 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Speak good.
Hey, we're in it.